Good morning, Trinity Lutheran Christian School staff, students, any students that we have online, any families, and any guests that we might have with us today. It's the Easter holiday, and we think about the gifts that God has given to us, and we're reminded of help that comes from heaven. Today, our devotion comes from Joshua chapter 10, verse 14. Surely the Lord was fighting for Israel. We could change that. Surely the Lord is fighting for us. One of my favorite movies, even though it is a marathon, is the movie Titanic. And, I love watching the movie Titanic. I don't necessarily like the cinematography and all of that. Sorry, Mr. Coughlin. I know you like all of those things. I don't. But I like, at the end of the time, it goes into towards one of the latter portions of the movie. Nearer, my God, to thee is what is played. And that one always strikes me. Another one of my favorite movies is the movie Pearl Harbor. And I think about Pearl Harbor, one of my favorite places in that is where Dan Aykroyd, now being a serious actor rather than a comedian, is on the teletype, and it comes out that certain things are going on in the Japanese embassy in Washington, D.C., and they're destroying their decoders and everything else, and he frantically goes and talks to his superiors and says something is going to go on. As we look at the help that is received, and we can go to the movie Titanic that looks like a disaster, and, we pull out the hymn, Nearer, My God, to Thee, we see that there is help from heaven no matter what the circumstances. And as we look back at World War II and when things were dark and gloomy at Pearl Harbor, our country pulled ourselves up by our bootstraps. Today there is a great lesson in both of those movies, friends, as we think about the help that comes from heaven each and every day for us. No matter what we face here at school, no matter what you face in your families, no matter what we face with a rising coronavirus positivity rate in Harford County that now is between 8 and 10, we know that we receive help from heaven. We know that God is going to deliver us. We know that Jesus went to the cross for us. And as we remember the hymn, Nearer, My God, to Thee, we also know that at the time that we watch the other movie, Pearl Harbor, that help came from heaven because as FDR led us during those days, we know ultimately Christ leads us today. Help comes from heaven. Help comes from Jesus. So no matter how dark things seem, a ship going down, ships being bombed, we know that our lives are always recipients of the grace and the mercy of our Lord. Have a blessed day today in the Lord.